Brazil's Rogério Ceni holds one of the most bizarre records of most goals scored by a goalkeeper. In a career spanning 2.5 decades, Ceni was able to score a remarkable 131 goals for his boyhood club São Paulo, with most of them coming from penalties and free kicks, including one from out of play. He even scored more goals than Manchester United legend Ryan Giggs, who only ever managed 111 in his career, so it's a record of 131 goals scored by Rogério Ceni that may prove, well, impossible to beat. Although many regard Pelé as the top goal scorer in all time, the record actually belongs to Austria's Josef Bican. In 918 matches, Bican was able to score a remarkable 1,468 goals for clubs such as Rapid Vienna and Slavia Prague. He also held other amazing records, such as being able to run 100 meters in just 10.8 seconds. Although Pelé is regarded as the top goal scorer, a lot of his goals were counted as coming from exhibition and amateur matches. In professional matches, it's Bican that holds the record for most goals scored by any player. The record of most European Cups won in a row does of course belong to Real Madrid. In a period between 1955 to 1960, Real Madrid were able to win the European Cup 5 times, beating teams such as Fiorentina, AC Milan and Eintracht Frankfurt. Real Madrid have gone on to be the only team ever since then to be able to retain the Champions League twice in 2016 and 2017, but it's a record of 5 European Cups won by them between the late 1950s and very early 1960s that could be a record almost impossible to beat. The highest ever attendance at a professional football match took place between Uruguay and Brazil in the 1950 World Cup final. Whilst the official attendance was counted as 173,000, unofficial estimates put it that there was 210,000 people that attended this match. With ticket policies and safety concerns not being what they are as today, having 173,000 people attend one match may be a record very hard to ever be beaten or matched. Angry at bad refereeing in their previous match, which denied them the chance to win the Madagascar Domestic League, football club SO Embrane decided to protest in their final match in the most of unusual ways. As soon as the match kicked off, the SO Embrane players would pass the ball back to the goalkeeper and into their own net, leading to a final bizarre scoreline after 90 minutes of 149-0. Following the match, the manager of SO Embrane was banned from attending any football in Madagascar for 3 years, and also a scoreline of 149-0 that will be unlikely ever to be beaten. Derby County holds the most unfortunate record of least wins in a Premier League season. In the 2008 season, Derby County only managed 1 win and only gathered 11 points across the whole season, with the only win coming against Newcastle United. Embarrassing defeats occurred against a lot of the big teams, but even teams such as Aston Villa were able to beat them 6-0 away. Derby County's 1 win and 11 points in the whole of the 2007-08 season is a record that will likely never be beaten. Whilst holding the most bizarre record for most goals scoring by a goalkeeper, Rogério Ceni also holds the most appearances by any player ever. Rogério Ceni made a total of 1,217 professional appearances for Brazilian boyhood club São Paulo. Although Pelé did play a total of 1,375 games, a lot of these were also played at amateur and exhibition games. In total, Pelé only played 1,150 games at pro level, which doesn't quite beat the record of Rogério Ceni. With teams nowadays often quite rotating their teams, it's a record of 1,217 appearances for Ceni that will likely never be beaten. The 1967 European Cup final between Celtic and Inter Milan is famous for one particular unusual reason. The Celtic side, which was famously dubbed the Lisbon Lions after beating Inter Milan by 2-1, had an entire team consisting of only Scottish players born within just 10 miles of Celtic's home ground. It is very unlikely that a record like this will ever be matched. Despite not being one of the more familiar faces in football, Ali Dai in fact holds the record for the most international goals scored by one player. The Iranian striker scored an incredible 109 goals in 149 matches for Iran, and even to this date he is still even only just the only player to have ever hit the century mark of goals for an international side. It is a record that could be very hard to ever be matched or beaten. Despite only ever going to one World Cup, Just Fontaine holds the record for the most goals scored in a single World Cup. The French striker was able to score a remarkable 13 goals to help France finish third at the 1958 World Cup, and to this date still stands in the top 4 for highest combined strikers across all World Cups. It is a record of 13 goals that could well prove to be very hard to ever be beaten. And there, guys, is a list of top 10 football records that may never be beaten. Let me know, guys, in the comment section whether you think some of these records could potentially be beaten, and also let me know if you want me to do any more of these videos in the future as well. But thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you later.